Advisory Committee meeting. Call the meeting to order. Start with the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we'll do a quick roll call.
Joe Schofield.
Paul Leogrand.
Ken Frieda.
Paul Flores, Public Works Director.
Carrie Runyon, Parks and Recreation.
Anyone online? No. All right. Any public comments? No one's in the room. No one's online. So we're good to go there. Action log review. So let's pull that up. Way bigger.
Thank you.
Ah.
Is that bed there?
No, I have to bring a second screen for you, Karen. All right. So we have some older ones at the top. I think they're grade through. So are they closed? Are they done? Yeah, complete, right? I know that last time we were speaking about actually getting the action log. Carrie, you emailed me. I didn't respond. I apologize for that. But I guess, Tamara, or you found it, right? So this is correct.
Yes. I went ahead and I found it and pulled it up.
Okay. Just to mention about this, right? We all have, just so everyone knows, we have access to the Gateway Prac 365 account. So if you log into that, using the same credentials you use for your email, you have access to the live document of this. It's in the 365 account. Okay, so I know that you have a PDF version of the most recent updates, but for us, if we need to update it during the month, we do have access to the live document. Okay. I know that one of the high ticket items on this were to come up with the Skills Park information, and I believe you were able to find that too, right, Carrie? So we'll go through that later. But, so we could check that off the list. If you'd like, I could gray that out, or you can. Okay. So, and then we see the next updates that we're going to talk about, right? Winterfest, Board of Supervisors meeting. So, anything else outdated? Oh, the cane toad problem. That's still outstanding.
Cane toads. It's Carrie Runyon, Parks and Recreation. One thing I did do, I put I can't even tell you the name of the granule that I put down around the dog park. I did that in July and I did it again in August.
Yeah.
And I have heard nothing since.
Good.
So I'm hoping that took care of it for now.
Sounds good.
We'll see.
Okay.
There's still, Ken Frieda, if I could just add something, they are still present in Gateway Greens. In fact, it seems like it's gotten worse. We're seeing
The
dead
rain.
bodies on the road, on people's lawns. Parents are concerned when they're out walking with their kids, pet owners and all. So, look, it's not a problem that can easily be rectified. I understand that, but it isn't something that is a seasonal thing and it's going away.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Let me go to Winterfest update.
Yeah, well, actually, I guess it's all under items for discussion, right? So it's under
Well,
section.
that's under your action log.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I didn't know if you wanted me to knock that out first.
Sure. Let's talk about it.
Okay. So, under the action log, Winterfest, I can tell you that I've started the process of getting vendors, talking to Santa, making sure he's coming.
It's a busy time of year.
Yeah, it is. Some food vendors. I know that the Girl Scouts will be there. to help sell, I think, hot dogs this year and probably some drinks. But we're going to have other people there. I know we're going to have the Gina's Tamales, which we usually have here on Friday mornings at our events here. So, and then we're going to have some activities. We're going to do a couple new things, which I will not say right now, but it's something different. I will be sending out sponsorship packages to anyone. If anybody is interested, please contact me. Or if you know somebody that has told you they're interested, I need to know. And I can send a package out to them. The Board of Supervisors meeting last week, everything went through without a concern, as far as I know. The overview of recreation facilities and access policies, that went through. The proposed Parks and Rec programs went through, and proposed hours of operations went through. So
Great.
the three things that you guys did bring up went through without concern. See, the next thing we're going to run through, and we will talk about it in discussion, is the fees for facilities and programs. And what I've done is, let's see if I can kind of pulled out some of the similar counties or cities in Florida that have the same type of facilities or programs that we have, like Collier County, Lee County, City of Fort Myers, City of Naples, Palm Beach, City of Oakland Park, and Marion County. And I've kind of updated information on how much they charge for lights, field rentals, lessons, classes. And I'll be going forward and doing more of those checking and trying to get some more numbers for other counties or cities. If you are familiar, or if you know of anybody that wants to also do this and help me out, any of you all that would like to help, I would love to get some help. I'm trying to similar. I don't want to do it like Miami-Dade. That's too big. We're more of a smaller entity, so I didn't want to throw Miami-Dade in there. But
Is that Cape Coral?
yeah, I'm going to do Cape Coral next. They will be next on my list, and then I will look at other little cities or entities that are very similar to that size. But ours is, around 12,000 people, so that's a little different than 200,000 people. So it's a big difference.
Big difference.
And they have many more parks, Cape Coral. So I'm just letting you know, if you have anybody else if you want to throw some ideas out, please email me. If you have any questions or you have any suggestions, I can go in there and do some, go forth and put some information down on fields and pavilions and lights and dog parks, if they have anything.
Yeah.
I would like to do that, so.
How far out do you want to go? Like, because I have some connections like down in Ave Maria or,
It's fine.
yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Ave Maria and Golden Gate Estates
Yeah,
down there.
you can send me that information. I can put it on my list.
And we could add that to the action log. I'll put that in now for me.
Okay. And then the sponsorship package, like I explained to you, it's done, it's ready to go out. I'm going to be sending this out to different people that have contacted me for sponsorships for all of our events. And then I'm going to do some of the ones that I did last year. They told me to make sure I come back. So if you have any names or contacts or information, please send them to me. I will be glad to get a package to them.
You want to be the point person?
Yes.
I may or may not know somebody who may do it, but I should have them talk to
Please.
you. Okay.
Yes, talk to me. Okay?
Sure.
I may know a guy.
You know a guy?
He knows a guy. He's got a guy.
All right, good. Paul has a guy. All right. So that's our action logs. Anything on there that have my name attached to it? Anybody questions?
I wonder if the Lee County Sheriff's Department would be interested in sponsoring something.
Well, they do.
Well, they do the ice cream.
They do the ice cream for us for Red, White, and Pool, and you were there. Some things they are able to, sometimes they're double booked. So I always ask them anyway, no matter what. I ask them, and I always ask South Trail. So those are the two major ones that I always ask.
Remind them we vote for them.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Again, we're 12,000, right, you know.
So, anything else? Any questions? We'll move on.
Good, yep.
I don't, is the financial report in there?
Yes, the August financial report was. I did not have any questions when I reviewed it. So,
I know you want it bigger. There you go.
by the way, we skipped over approval of minutes just because we don't have them from last time, right? So just want to put that in
So
there.
I have no minutes.
Okay, great. Yeah, I have no questions on the financial report.
I don't have any.
Good there.
Oh, you good?
I'm good.
Okay. Number 8, items for discussion. Let's take a look at the calendar.
So we've set up some district events. Our fiscal year starts October 1st, ends on September 30th of 2026. So we have the Lee Health Community Lecture on October the 30th at 2 o'clock here in this boardroom. We had a pretty good turnout for the last one. This one has to do with sugar, so that people might be interested in it. And then the next one after that is we help.
The day before Halloween.
Yeah, right. Isn't that the best? You like that? And then we have the trunk or treat. We assist the Gateway Trinity Lutheran Church, and we park cars at the fun park, and then we help any other way that they need assistance. And then November, we have our farmers market comes back on November the 7th on a Friday. It's across the street at the soccer complex, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then we have movie on the field on the 15th of November. And it'll probably be around 7 o'clock. I have not picked the movie yet. You will know that in November. And then our signature is coming. Our signature event for Gateway is Winterfest, December the 6th from 4 to 8 p.m. And Paul, I will not have you hold up the Santa Claus thing.
So
I have a
the one thing my
spot
wife
for it.
said, she's like, you could do whatever. You're not putting up the back
Not the
for the
backdrop.
Santa. Yeah, yeah.
No, I will have that all set up and you will not have to worry.
Wonderful news.
Just for you.
Hi. Thanks.
And then if you want to, you can look through the rest, but that's our events for this coming year.
Are you going, or I'm not sure if I saw from you, did you send out volunteer asks for Winterfest yet or no?
Not yet, no.
Okay. So that'll come.
That's next, that's on my list.
Awesome.
Okay. All right.
What's the date of the farmer's market?
What's the
It's
date?
every Friday morning.
It's every Friday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Through March, right?
through March,
Where is that held?
right across the street here,
Oh, right here.
soccer complex,
Okay.
Right now,
right now.
we're hoping to change that, right?
Yes.
Next year?
That's what we're hoping to put it at the new facility.
Same vendors as before?
There's going to be some changes.
Because one thing I heard was that folks would have liked to come more often, but felt that the number and the quality just left a little bit to be desired.
Yeah, people started backing out, I guess, and because of the amount of things they weren't selling last year, but it usually takes a couple of years for it to totally get off the ground and get moving, so. But she's bringing back some different vendors as well.
I think, and I remember talking to Ed about it months and months ago, but I think it's important that we advertise these types of events within our local communities. You know, that's something big, and I'm the president of my HOA there too, and I always bring this up. So, you know, I kind of take this and give it to everyone just to make sure that they see and they're aware. And I agree, the farmer's market takes time to build up, but I also feel that if we could possibly get a Saturday morning slot at some point, it'll be
Well,
very
that's
helpful.
for the new facility.
Yeah, so,
That's something I can't do right now because we do have soccer season.
right, it's impossible there.
And
Yeah.
you have 500+ people here on Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, so it'd be a little difficult for parking.
Oh, maybe you get a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese sandwich truck.
Sell them fruit. Something to keep the kids moving.
Yeah. Just an idea. No. Cool.
This was the recommendations that went through.
Yep.
We kind of talked about this a little bit. Programs, the hours, we've pretty much set that. Now, there could be some tweaking going on when we get closer and closer, but for the most part, this is what we're set at.
Wellness checks for the community. I saw that.
So what that is, Carrie Runyon again, that is South Trail Fire District.
Okay.
Will offer that. They'll come and do blood pressure checks at a location. And so that's something that we would like to do for when the new park facility opens and the new admin building, to give an opportunity that people would know ahead of time. Like it might be the first Thursday of the month, it might be the last Thursday of the month, but people can come by and get their blood pressure checked. They've done that many times for the community in different areas, and I thought this would be a good place to do it.
Great.
That's a wellness check.
Yep.
Do they have blood drives? Have we ever had blood drives where people can donate blood? Like a
That usually
mobile-
goes through Lee Health Mobile, so that's something that could be done at the same time. You can look at
Maybe
that.
good to look into. I was
Yep.
thinking that too, right?
Yep.
Because they always need some.
Red bus.
Yeah. Down Daniels, yeah.
All right. This was the next item was the Gateway. You wanted to see the Skills Park illustration that Dave, former Parks and Rec Advisory Committee member, put together. This is something that we can go forward, but it won't be till probably 2027 after the new facility, the Commons Park, is done. But this was the diagram itself of what it was. And you can see it's broken out into many different areas. Thought he had this was the track. This is the most important part, was the walking path,
Right.
more than anything.
And that was the discussion, to kind of create the structure of it first, right? And then the concept behind this is that we could add and build into it over the years as we move forward. But he kind of gave us this to outline what you see there in brown is the walking path, and then there's an inside walking path. And we talked about it being a skills park. Those separate boxes are areas that we could build up in certain ways, right? It may be a sitting area, it may be a, kind of like
Fitness stations.
fitness station, right? Exactly. So that was the concept. I think we should definitely try to move forward with this. Yeah, he designed a walking maze kind of over on the left-hand side there. But all of that and all the structure within can be built after the path is created and the outside structure is built.
Fill me in a little bit on this. I would imagine the board has already, this is an engineering drawing here, so
Yes.
there's already been funding for at
No.
least a portion of this. Is the whole thing funded, or
There's no funding for it yet.
no funding at all?
There's no there's funding, but there's no allocation of funds towards this
Right.
at this point, right? So it would come out of our general fund unless we have to raise money extra for this, but no funds have been pointed directly towards
Is
this.
there a fund that's being built up for this?
Just Parks and Rec, no, just the general Parks and Rec
It's
fund,
just our budget right here is doing this.
yes.
Okay, and do we have any savings into that for this already?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
It's future thinking, right? I mean, we have to remember that the other big topic that we were talking about was the community pavilion. Right? So it was kind of these two concepts that we wanted to bring to the community, the pavilion and then this. This is, I feel, a bigger, longer project. Again, we kind of add to it over the years, where the community pavilion was more to kind of close in the production over by the pool, right? Kind of complete that whole area. And that's why we had, and again, everything is still up for discussion, by the way. I'm just kind of giving you the background. That's why we were kind of focused on the pavilion first, deciding that it would be nice to kind of complete that area before moving on to this. And that's why we presented the pavilion to the Board of Supervisors to kind of address first. So,
And it was conceived as a vision of
Right.
what
right,
could be done
Exactly.
for the community's benefit.
that's all.
Yeah, and once you get off the ground, then you can start planning. That'd be a quick way.
Right, exactly. So we were kind of lost with, when Dave left, we were kind of lost with where we stood with this, right? So it's kind of out of the two things that are kind of big forward-thinking projects, this is the second one. And I feel like we need to kind of make a decision, first of all, what we want to address first, right? Like, do we still want to do the pivot? Because I'm not going to make that call alone anymore. Everyone else is kind of gone. So, do we still want to do the pavilion first? We've already presented that to the Board of Supervisors. I don't think they've given any feedback on that either,
No.
as of this time.
Did you didn't get any feedback at the meeting?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I didn't get any feedback at the meeting. And it wasn't my intent to have them say yes or no or anything like that. It was more just that, hey, this is what we would like to see in the future. What do you think about it?
I think on the short term, at least, just to stay on their radar, keep it on
Right,
their radar
exactly.
so that it's not forgotten and
Right.
goes through the cracks.
So that being said, we haven't presented this to them at all yet, right? This is all kind of internal. We've seen it a bunch of times ourselves, but it's not on their radar at all.
No, it's not.
We're looking at 2027.
This would be later even, because we have to prioritize, like, as far, like, going back to what you said, Joe, about the budget, we have to find those funds, right? And then we kind of have to say, okay, what do we want to do first? Do we want to focus on the pavilion and really try to push that? Because I can continue to go to the Board of Supervisors meetings and try to move that. Or do we want to kind of put that aside and focus on this? I don't think we could do both simultaneously. And I think we're going to use one to kind of pivot off the other and say, okay, we were successful in this, now we could do this.
Correct me if I'm wrong, they may not have seen this, but they're aware of the concept.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't
really?
think they're even aware of the
I thought it may have
concept.
been
No.
brought up.
Nope,
No.
not this.
Okay, then I'm,
Yeah. So this is kind of fresh, this was like when we were in our pie in the sky, like, what do we want to see for the community, the 5-10 year kind of plan, right? So going backwards, we're talking about the pool in the new park over there that, that was all discussed and
I remember when
developed.
that was.
Yeah, and now it's being built, but that whole thing has been 3 years, right? Just for that. So I think if we target this or the pavilion, again, it's going to be 3 years kind of scenario
from now.
from now.
now.
Just budgetary wise, right? I mean, we're already in 2026 budget, so it's closed. So
27 could be way optimistic.
So 27 could be optimistic to say, okay, we now know what it entails and we could start allocating some of those funds for construction material, right? That's not even the building, I don't think. So I think realistically, either one of these don't get built until 28, folks, right? But it's kind of, we have to start somewhere, right? So if we want to move these things forward, we kind of have to make a decision. Personally, I'd say the pavilion, again, because it kind of focuses in on that area over there, on bringing everything together. And I think there's a need, I feel there's more of a need for that type of a space right now.
But the pavilion's not involved with this at all. With this, the drawing I'm looking at, there's no pavilion in that.
No, the
Yeah.
pavilion is completely separate.
Okay, that's a separate item.
The
Okay.
pavilion is over by the pool. It's a community pavilion. I think we've talked about it a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
like, it's a stage, right? There could be music venues, there could be acting venues, there could be teachers doing community readings kind of thing, right? Like,
Yeah, I
like
remember.
an arts, amphitheater-ish kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I remember talking
Right.
about that now, the amphitheater and
Right.
having space in the walking area, maybe around it and so forth. Is that a program that has been presented to the board yet?
Yes.
And have they approved it?
So I presented that to the Board of Supervisors in person, and they have not given any feedback on it yet. So that was
Okay.
2 months ago, right? Even, was it 3?
More than 2 months ago. It was back in
Okay.
either May or June,
May or June.
April or May.
Yeah.
It's been, yeah.
So,
probably more
yeah.
May.
So we need to, I mean, here, I don't know, like, how we could make a motion out of all this. So,
So I'm putting my notes here. We made that, I'm just going to say presentation in 2025. But I think we need to bring it back up to their attention again then.
I think it'll help, if we could get feedback from them on that, it'll help us decide what to move forward with.
Which one's priority?
Because if they could be sitting there going, man, I hope this goes away, right? Or no, for whatever reason, that's fine. But then it'll obviously, say, okay, well, we can focus in on this now.
Well, is the project that's, in your opinion, is the project that's going on now taking up a lot of the
Oh, yeah, of
finance?
course.
I mean, that could
It's
be,
taking up all the time, yeah. And this is all really kind of large scale stuff again, right? So it's on us to continue to push this forward and to continue to bring it up, So no fault of theirs. I don't feel like they're ignoring us at all, right? I just feel like if we're not putting it continuously in front of them, they're not going to remember or move it up on their list.
they're focused on
right?
other things.
So, and I mean, there's two big things from us, right? And I think we accomplished a lot in kind of deciding. There's a lot of talking about all of this stuff. So I think they're both really good projects. I don't know if you all want to go, because we don't have the full group here, like, to decide right now if we should focus in on the pavilion or this is tough. I feel like I'd like to make a motion that we present to the Board of Supervisors a request for feedback on the community pavilion presentation made earlier this year.
I would second that.
All in favor?
Okay.
Aye, great. So that's unanimous.
And you have to walk a fine line. You
Right.
don't want to put too much
Right.
on their table, on their plate at one time. You'll get shot down with everything, possibly.
Well, exactly. It's-
With the new tax structure, the methodology that they've just done, Pelican's going to be putting money into the Parks and Recreation. And I would assume you're going to see all of that money here in this committee? Do you have any idea how that's being broken up from this? Have you gotten
don't.
any direction from the CDD on that at all? I think we should ask them. Because that's a
I agree.
big issue, particularly in Pelican. And I
agree.
think if it's been designed and sold that it's coming to Parks and Recreation, we should be getting our hands on that money, and that should go into our budget. And that would allow us, I would think at that time, then to start, I would assume we have to spend money out of our budget to do the preliminary engineering.
Right.
And the board's going to say, well, what do you have in your budget? You want to do something?
Right. And that's what I mean. Like, we're going to have to kind of insert ourselves in at some point and find out ahead of time, because this is the other thing too. We haven't been given ahead of time what our budget for the next year is going to be. So
Yeah.
we don't ever even know that. So
We don't go and fight for it.
No, because
No?
you only recommend, this is a recommended
an
committee,
advisory committee.
advisory committee.
You know, PPAC puts a budget together, and they have their subcommittees, and all the subcommittees put a budget together individually, and then they propose that to PPAC, who then puts a budget together, working with those subcommittees, saying, well, that seems reasonable, or that doesn't seem reasonable, or why do you need this money? Oh, you got a new project, and, okay, we think that's not worthwhile, we're not going to do it, or we think it's worthwhile. So they kind of jockey around for money, looking at the ultimate goal, which is going to be our ad valorem taxes. But there's jockeying, and then they have to go to the CDD to get permission for that budget. Now, typically, the CDD has kind of said, it's your money, you do what you want
Sure.
with it. But now they've imposed this Parks and Rec thing in there, and PPAC and Pelican hasn't really got anything to say about it. So I would think that they basically have set the stage for us to now go and say, you're getting this money, and it was sold to the Pelican residents for Parks and Rec. What are we getting out of this? Because we've got some really great plans, and we want to start
Right.
investing so we can come back to you to get maybe additional funding, because our budget is, I'm assuming, a skimpy budget.
I assume.
And
So, I mean, I agree with you 100%, Joe, with everything you're saying. And I think as far as moving it forward, Carrie, can we get access to a projected budget early on as far as what is in the plans, right?
So we just received our budget for 25, 26.
But it's locked. It's all, right, it's already done.
So the next one, remember, it happens around January, February. And if there's something that you want done, or something that you're wanting to do, then that needs to be, passed around. You guys need to kind of talk about it here, put it on a list, and then we can submit that for when I turn my budget in, which is
Right.
much done. I mean, it's almost already done, but.
When you turn your budget in as far as approval, right?
Right.
But what is that budget, is what I'm saying? Or are you just building for everything that you need and submitting that as a
Yeah, it's
requested budget?
primarily, it's an additional like 3%, and on top, usually it's around 2 to 3% on top of what I had from the year before. Now, we might move stuff around because something might need to be replaced at the soccer fields
Right.
versus the pool.
Right,
Okay, I don't need anything over there, but it was 2025. I have a 5-year capital budget that I've
Okay.
already put together. It has heaters and all kinds of things. So some things I got last year, like heaters for the pool, I took that off for future, for years on down the road. So
Right.
Does that come out of our budget, or does the CDD have a reserve or a budget for those types of capital
They have
expenditures?
they have a capital budget that they pull from.
Okay. So the way we're set up, we're an advisory committee giving them input,
Input,
but they really
recommendation.
have set the budget up for what
Right.
we're going to be getting.
Right.
And then telling us we have to work within the budget that they have established, rather than us putting a budget together and saying, this is what we want.
Right.
We should change that.
I second that.
Well,
Well, I ran the landscaping committee for the PPAC, and I put the budget together, and I went and told them this is what I wanted. We had found out that the management company we had was tipping in 2%, 3% every year. And when we got our own landscaping committee, we found out we had 5 contracts for landscaping in Pelican Preserve, because each time they added a community, they had a landscaping contract that came with it, and rather than merging it in, they kept each one separate. So we had these contracts all over the place.
All over, yeah.
And they weren't always the same, and we just took them all and piled them right in and said, from this point forward, one day, whatever it was, everything's under one contract and get rid of all these other things.
That being said, and I agree, right? But there's a lot more responsibility too if we had our own budget, to the extent where I kind of want to keep this visionary, right? We are an advisory panel, so we could come together and say, this is what we want for the community. Not so much have to worry about the budget. This is what we want. This is why we want it. We could defend that, right? We get the community together, get them all to buy into what the vision is,
Yeah.
and then go to the Board of Supervisors and say, now it's your job to figure out the budget.
Yeah, and I
Or,
don't disagree with
come
that
back,
at all.
or them come back and be like, you guys are out of your mind. That's way too much. Okay, great. Now we're getting somewhere, right? And then, so we can't do the pavilion on top of the canopy we want for the community pavilion. We, so on and so forth. We move on. So I think I see both sides of it, right?
Yeah, well, you're making me see both sides, and I totally agree. The more money you've got control of, and the more you put a budget together, the more responsibility
course.
you have to control it.
Right. And we're not so much of an
And if you
advisory
wanna-
panel.
If you
at
want to
that point.
remain just an advisory group saying to the board, this is a really great idea.
Right.
We have your backing
Right.
and funding to explore it.
I mean, I'd
Fine.
also rather go from that side, Joe, and then if we hit a roadblock, right, and if we continue to bring these ideas to them and there's an issue all the time, then, now we have a proven kind of track record. Hey, we've done this, we've done A, B, and C, we continue to bring ideas to you, and we can't see a budget, we can't have access to it, and it's causing a problem, and this is why, give us a budget.
You do what I did with my landscaping committee. Everybody handed in their resignation one day,
Well, I don't think we're going to do that.
and we did that.
So, again, we talked about this end of last year.
Yeah.
I think you were the only one here at the time. I said, they start looking at budgets in January, February. So my suggestion is right after the holiday,
Right.
have something in mind and to discuss. That's the items you want to put on your
That's right.
Parks and Rec meeting to discuss so that we can iron it out before they decide what our budget is.
So going back just to kind of close the loop on it, I feel like these two things were our big ticket items again, right? And if you all could take a look through and kind of lean one way or the other, that's what we could focus on as far as, bringing to them. But in the meantime, Carrie, I think that it's also, we'd appreciate some feedback on the presentation for the pavilion.
Can we get an idea from somehow within our budget, get an idea from a professional what this pavilion might cost? So when we go to the supervisors, we can say, we think this is a really great idea. These are the things and the benefits we're going to gain from it. And I can just see Ed Tinkle saying, well, how much is it going to cost us? And I can hear Bob Gippert saying the same thing.
There were numbers being discussed really preliminarily early on as far as the type of construction it would be. And I mean, do not quote me, but for minute purposes, it was in the realm of a typical house,
Okay.
and not more than that. But
So you're looking at what, $500,000 or something?
it was
like that?
discussed even less than that. So,
Okay.
but that was very light discussion, right? So.
So would it be their responsibility then to come up with a cost budget for that, or would it be our responsibility?
Well, we don't handle the funds, right? So
Yeah.
if they were to come back and say no, and we'd say, how far off are we from the actual number? Then we'd say, okay, maybe then we propose fundraising or we propose lessening what we want, right? But yeah, we're off of that. All right, that's good.
And you also have to be sensitive to the concerns of the community.
Right.
Absolutely.
Everything that gets done gets paid somehow and ultimately comes out of our pocket. You have to explain to the residents why this makes sense.
But, and one of the, I don't want to go too long on this, but one of the reasons why I'm here is that I didn't know where the money was going that I was paying into, right? And that's why I joined, because I wanted insight on that. I wanted to see. So, I mean, I think it goes back to kind of the bigger problem where we don't have involvement from the community like we should. People pay their dues, but they don't understand what it's going towards. And I think that's where we fail, and kind of separate the advisory to the Board of Supervisors. But as a committee in general in this community, we fail to let our people know what we're doing. And I think we'd have more buy-in if more people were involved in that way, especially when it comes to these bigger ideas, right? So the pavilion, I think there were maybe 15 or 20 people in the room, but that's not a lot when you're dealing with 12,000 people, right? So still no one knows about this kind of stuff. And nothing speaks louder than a group of people, right? I mean, so if there was a buzz saying, hey, what's going on with that park, or what's going on with that pavilion, or what's going on, then things would move. But I agree with you, right?
I mean,
it's all.
I made my feelings known early on that, I, for one, how I feel, and I know people that I talk to, residents,
Yep.
there's a concern that things are being done, money's being spent on things that need not be spent on, and putting another item on the plate for them to digest. May or may not go over well, and you got people talking to me saying, you know what, if it continues, we're going to move.
Right.
And that creates another problem.
As a real estate agent, trust me, that's concerning for me, right? But at the same time,
Well, all we could do is sell.
if money is going in, right, and it's being reallocated to different things because Parks and Rec isn't using it, it's still going in, right? So, at some point, that's where we owe, like, what we're doing. But listen, the dog park, before, we'll close it at this, but the dog park scenario, we planned on redoing the dog park, and we had, I don't know, 100 people in this room.
40-something, and then they had more out there.
Yeah, that came to make it very clear that they did not want that to happen. And you know what? We said, okay. And the Board of Supervisors said, okay, we're not doing that. And it was done, so.
The way I figure it this way, I don't know if you've thought about it or if it's been raised to anybody's attention, but there's 2,498 homes, paying units in Pelican Preserve. And I could be wrong on my count, but I think each unit over there is going to be charged, I think a minimum of $50, it might be $100 for Parks and Recreation ad valorem taxes. That's going to be $125,000 to $250,000 for this group, for Parks and Recreation, going to the Board of Supervisors. And if it's going there for that purpose, we ought to make sure we're getting that money. I don't know who, I mean, I'll be very bold. I'll be happy to go ask them that question at the next board meeting. I'm not ashamed to ask those guys anything. They don't always like me when I do it, but I would be very happy to just stand up there and say, by the way, by my calculations now, how are you dispersing that funds to the rec group?
I'll try to attend and support
Okay.
you if you'd like to. So
Well,
we
I'll let
can-
you
we
know
can
if I'm
speak
going,
up.
I'll try to make the meeting.
Okay.
But I feel that's not chump change. And I think the residents of Pelican really ought to feel confident that that money's going to where they were told it was going to go.
I understand.
Because they don't feel like they should pay a dime. And
Does that get on their agenda? Do they hold budget meetings, or is that part
Yes.
of their regular meeting?
everybody has budget meetings, and they spend months on the budget. And they go through every line item is discussed.
That's open to the general public?
It's open to everything that
And
the
do people-
CDD
and do
does.
people show
Everything
up?
is open.
People do, yeah.
Everything is open to the general public by state law.
It should be, as it should be.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering whether or not, can we have a representation at that? Do we?
Of course.
Sure.
I mean, it's a public comment. I don't think it's an official committee representation, but it's a,
Well, you could get official representation. You could talk to the agenda and have them put an agenda item on.
yeah, we,
That's something that get put on their agenda to discuss.
Yeah,
things like this.
but the thing with that is then we as a committee then have to come to a vote that we're going to do a presentation to them, and then we have to put it in their agenda, and it has to be vetted. It's different than than coming up to the podium and publicly speaking, right? Joe coming up to the podium can say that he's on the Parks and Rec Advisory Committee, but it's him speaking on his own behalf.
I can walk up and say I'm a member of Pelican Preserve and I'm
Right,
paying a
right.
tax.
Right.
And I want to know that it's
Understood,
going
but
where
if
you
it's
told me
to
it's
be done
going.
more formally, it's got to be done in the shape of,
We have to make a decision to put it together, to say that we're going to say this, to present it to them, to put in the agenda, they get it ahead of time. Yeah.
would it be helpful to get that on our agenda or discussion about that at the next meeting, just to see if we hear a plan to pursue it?
I think we ought to just take a motion right now and say we'll pursue it at the
everybody's here, and I don't know.
next CDD meeting.
We want
Are
everybody.
we talking
bring it
about
up.
bringing
Just- I mean,
it?
Just mention it to them.
Well, then we don't need to take because it's not the committee.
Yeah,
What I'm
I'll
saying
do
to
it
you is
I'll
that
do it.
if you want to go and speak, I'll come to support you,
Okay,
right? But,
I'll speak.
okay.
They'll love me for it. I can brag like our president, right? It's the latest, greatest.
Yeah, it's good. Understood.
No, they're all
All right.
good people.
Parks events sponsorships. This was.
Sponsorships, yes.
Yes, this is what I was talking about earlier, so you guys can actually see, put together the different events. Last year for the Twilight Adventure Hunt, that was our first one, and they used flashlights and they loved it. They had a blast. It was so cool. The kids loved it. We had prizes. They went crazy over it. We had 3. And we'll be doing another derby, red, white, and pool. We did that this year again. We did 2
I hope
movies.
it's warmer next year.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, like 110.
Yikes.
And then we did movies on the field. We had 2 last year, one in the fall and one in the spring. We're going to do one. We're going to do one in November 15 and one February 7. And then, of course, our Winterfest. And these are the different sponsorship levels. And it tells you exactly what you get for those different sponsorship levels. And like I said, if there's something that somebody that you know that is interested, please send that information to me. And then we'll go on to, I know you can't see this either, but we'll go on to the comparison. This is where I am so far. I kind of took all the amenities that we have or we will receive after we get the new facility, and I was putting it on a spreadsheet, kind of letting you see whatever the other organizations and other municipalities are doing. I can't. Hi.
Am I just in time?
Go ahead, take a seat. I can tell you there is, I know like Lee County, and this was kind of an interesting thing, and I think there's another, I saw this at another Parks and Recreation facility where if you pay individually, like each household would pay $10 as a resident, and they could actually go to any of the programs for, no cost. It's for a year, $10 a year. And then if you want your family, if you have a family one, they had a $25 membership. Some people do 30. And that's just for residents, and they can come to any of the programs, and they don't have to pay a program fee. If you're a non-resident, you would have to pay a program fee every time you came. So that was kind of neat, a little different that what you're kind of dealing with. You're bringing a little bit of revenue in, but you're also, what kind of residents or what residents actually want to see. So
Residents donate above that, just make a mental note, like to do.
They what?
Donate above that, right? So 25 minimum annually for a family kind of scenario,
right.
right? Because they that as tax write-off, I'm sure, but
They can.
we might want to, see if that's a possibility. Because there's many, it's difficult for a lot, but many, they're looking to donate to things, so.
So I'm going to continue to bring in as many as I can find, and we'll kind of look at it together as a group.
Great.
And we'll decide what kind of get ideas of costs and fees that we want to put together. Now you're just kind of giving you an idea, like if I brought in a chair yoga program, and I decided that I wanted a person to run that because, it's not my forte. And I have a contract person to come in and they want to teach the chair yoga. They might charge a minimum $5, but we would do like an 80-20 contract. So whatever fees they brought in $100, we would get $20 of that. So
Is that what we're doing for aerobics, for pool stuff, or?
pool aerobics and the water aerobics and water yoga, it's all free. The instructor is free. They're
volunteering.
They're volunteering their time to do it. So
Yeah.
there is no cost associated. That's one of the benefits of those two programs. But we're trying to work on a swim lessons program for adults and children. And we would be doing a contract with this person for an 80-20 contract.
Right.
So,
Okay. Great. Love it.
and then I have Laura's online. If you've got, no?
I think she just jumped off.
Okay.
But good afternoon. For the record, Paul Flores, Public Works Director. Just to answer Joe's question in regards to Pelican versus Gateway. So the residents of Pelican contribute $36.87 per household to Parks and Rec, compared to Gateway residents pay $245.83 per household. And all those revenues contribute towards Carrie's budget, annual budget.
They go to the annual budget,
Yes.
not for Parks and Rec.
It goes, yes.
Parks and Recreation annual budget, yes.
Oh, okay, Parks and Rec annual budget.
Right, so it doesn't go to like a special fund
Right.
where the committee's dedicated or can use that for funding other projects or other purposes. So I just kind of want to clarify that.
They can use it for
No, it's strictly for Carrie's operating
Parks and
budget.
Rec, right?
It's strictly Parks and
Parks and
Rec.
Recreation,
Okay.
yep.
That's
Well-
correct.
So what were the amounts again? I'm sorry, 224.
That'd be 2,498 times $40 is what's coming from Pelican
Or
Preserve.
what's coming from you?
Yeah, Pelican's $36.87.
36? Okay, I wrote
Yes.
39.
Yeah, 36 and 87
And
cents.
the other one was
$245.83
per household.
per household. That's correct.
Thank you.
Right.
Gee whiz, I thought we were doing better than that.
How many houses in
Pelican,
Pelican Preserve?
2,498. There was something special about hitting the 5,000 or hitting, the 5,000 number. I'll tell you, WCI didn't do anything just by coincidence. Everything was planned.
And this is the monthly reports for Parks and Recreation Advisory Councils.
I have no comment on that.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is kind of like a summary, what was discussed. So you guys have an idea, this is something that together every month. And then some things I ask him to put in so that he has it out there so that the Board of Supervisors sees it and they understand what we've discussed. So, so this is kind of what we did last month, so. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
Set? All right, so the next scheduled meeting, we don't need to schedule, it's already there, November 4th at 1:30. All good there, everyone? Will everyone be here?
I won't be.
No.
Sorry. I'll be in India.
India, wow.
Wants me.
Pardon me?
So was it on the song, Indiana Wants Me?
I have to go, fellas.
Thank you, Joe. Okay, well, with that, we can adjourn this meeting. Thanks, everyone.
You're welcome. I'll make my wife happy.
Motion to-
Yeah,
Very
sorry, I have to
sorry.
make a motion to adjourn.
There's a song.
A second, Joe, you want a second?
Second motion.
Joe seconds the motion. All in favor to adjourn?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Thanks.